Josh Maliabadi says, "Let humanity awaken, and every tribe will claim Hussein as their own." Beautiful statement indeed. This has been said by Josh Maliabadi, and just like him, many other poets, many other writers, many other philosophers out there in the world have spoken about this disastrous incident, the sad incident, the tragic incident, which was the Ashura. Why people commemorate the incident in different parts of the world, why this different sect was created after this particular incident. But it's not just the Shiite sect which observes Ashura, it's also the Sunni, it's also the other sects of the Muslim community, in respect of the grandchildren of the Holy Prophet, in respect of the family of the Holy Prophet. Now, in today's program, we are going to discuss the impact of this Karbala incident on the literature world over, the literature, the translations, the different genres of literature which are relevant to this particular incident. And to discuss that, we have with us Mr. Muhammad Shiraz, who is in charge English Language Center in Islamic International University. And we also have Hamza Hassan Sheikh, who happens to be a writer and a poet. Thank you, both of you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
How do you see different literatures of the world related to Karbala?
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming up with this very important question. In this postmodern, post-colonial, post-9/11 world, where structures are losing their ground, where things are falling apart, where our traditions are becoming endangered species, I believe it's very necessary to study our traditions, our past, our glorious past, our narratives, our discourses, and Karbala is one of them.
Absolutely.
Karbala is a truth that has become a metaphor. It has become a symbol of submission, a reference point to bravery. It has become a metaphor. That is being used by all those who are the oppressed in this today's world. So it's very important question to visit and to address. You see, this Karbala event, from the soils of Karbala, a separate genre, it was born, which is called Maqtal, or Maqtal al-Hussein genre, which is very unique. It's unique, and it is credited as sui generis,
right,
a genre of its own kind, because it is unique because it's not bound by time and space. There is no boundary, no linguistic, religious, national boundary in which this genre might be bound. And secondly, it's unique because it is probably the only genre which is not to entertain its audience. It's something that is to be perceptive, educative, informative, and it is something that carries a lot of cultural packets, and it is something that has given birth to other genres, and it has impacted and influenced other literatures as well. So I believe that this black day of our history that has illuminated actually literatures of the world. So we see all world literatures, particularly those from our part of the world, Persian, Urdu, Hindi, Bengali, Turkish, yes.
Exactly.
So all these literatures are influenced by this, Ashura literature, and we have this, the genres which are there, like Marsiya and Noha and Dohra, and it's not just specified or limited to national languages. Even our Pakistani indigenous languages, particularly Saraiki and Sindhi, and other languages like Punjabi, Hindko. So there is a lot that is being produced in these languages.
Right.
So I believe that literatures related to
it has had a lot of impact
on literatures of the world. Yeah.
Hamza, like Mr. Shiraz was speaking about different genres like Noha and Marsiya. So in English language or maybe other languages of the world, do we get to see that?
Yes, exactly, we see. And first of all, I would like to say that Karbala is not just a tradition or an event for us, but it is, you can say, a pathway between two different paths. One is taking you towards truth, and other is going you towards falsehood. So Karbala is not an event, but full philosophy. The philosophy of life, the philosophy of religion, the philosophy of truthhood, the philosophy of a lot of. You can take many lessons from this event, and you can apply in your own languages. But in our life, we see that most of the people are trapped in traditions. But it is our traditional and religious traditional event, but it is full of symbolism. You can find a lot of symbols from this small event, and you can apply those in your lives to find the true way, to find the true path, that which path you have to follow after the death of Prophet, peace be upon him, how you have to follow the way that which lessons the Prophet has told you, or which path his ancestors or his grandsons have chosen. So you have to take the lesson from this event, and you have to guide your lives. So according to your question, that like other languages, we see that in Urdu there is a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yes,
exactly.
We come to know about especially Miranis, and he is full of imagery, full of symbolism.
Specifically famous for
and full of allegories. You can't compare him with anyone. After that, we see Mir Dabir, and when we talk about, especially about Pakistan, we come to know about Josh, we come to know about Mohsen Naqvi, we come to know about Sabah Akbar Abadi, and in the present era we see like Akhtar Usman, and many other people are working in this field. And particularly when we speak about English, then we find a lot of translations, especially Miranese is translated too much. Especially most of the translations did by David Matthews.
I see.
He did a lot of translations of Miranese, and it is wonderful that he was an Englishman, and he just taught Urdu. Then he did his research on Miranese, and after completing his research on Miranese, he started to work and translate Miranese. It is unique work which is done in the history of literature. And now particularly when we speak about English literature, so day by day as the traditions and as the languages are changing and the people is spreading, and the event of Karbala and its philosophy is going everywhere in the whole world, it is spreading day by day. So in the English language now, in present day, we find a lot of people who are writing, who are reciting, or who are doing translations, many. Like we see, there are many people in Iran, Iraq, India, Turkey, and even now in Pakistan. Many people are working in this particular field, and they are composing different poems, different elegies, different epics, just to commemorate the event of Karbala.
Right. And sir, you were also speaking about like using metaphors regarding that, but usually what we see is sadness, tragedy, and lamenting in the poems and in the writings. So is it the foreign literature in which these metaphors are used these similes are used, or is it the local literature as well?
Well, as Hamza has said, that translations are being done. So originally it's the translation work that is bridging the gap.
Right.
So if the translator is educated and breathes on the borderlines between two languages, like Urdu and English, or Turkish or English and English, Persian and English, so is the person is aware of both the traditions and all those cultural packets which are attached with these metaphors and similes. So that person would be able to translate more efficiently into the second language, that is English language. That is what we are talking about. And Karbala tragedy is, as you said, it's all about emotions. It's all about it's something that touches your heart. So for that, you need some stylistic categories like metaphors, similes, imageries. Okay, all these things. Yes. So that a picture is, a kind of film is the whole story is made into a film through this written text. So that is what our translators do first. It's originally the first language writers, and then the translators, they bridge the gap, and then maybe the original English writers, as Hamza has said, people from our part of the world, expats, these immigrant writers, those who belong to diaspora, they actually, what they do, they are now directly writing about Karbala tragedy in English. So we find many references. For example, Agha Shahid Ali is a Kashmiri American poet who has written quite a number of poems on Karbala tragedy, about different characters of Karbala. So because he is the man who knows our tradition and the way we commemorate Karbala, therefore he is probably a better person, or a more authentic person to relate to this story, this event, this tragic history. Similarly, we have Ali Hassan. He's a Pakistani American poet whose Mughal miniatures and whose grieving Shias actually have many poems that they have included those poems in. He has included those poems in his works.
Another question to you would be about the postmodern literary theories. So has this incident also, has it influenced the postmodern literary theories?
Oh yes, at theoretical level, I believe that all these post-colonial literatures and recently contemporarily emerging post-9/11 literatures, they have some relationship with Karbala tragedy because they are literatures who follow the lines of resistance. I'm not sure whether the proponents of these theories are aware of Karbala tragedy, or whether the writers writing in this stream, whether they have studied philosophy of Karbala or not. But I believe there is some relationship, because you see, all those who say no to oppression, those who follow the lines of resistance, those who deny the rule of the exploiters. So all these people are actually, they are somehow related to the philosophy that was introduced in Karbala through this great sacrifice of the Imam. So I believe that there is some actually all these resistance theories, other social theories as well, not only these political theories, all the resistance theories, they might have some relationship, some inspiration from this great sacrifice.
Right. Well, Hamza, you happen to be a poet and a writer yourself. Have you ever thought of writing about Karbala or something related to this great sacrifice?
Yes, I have wrote poems, different poems, and I would like to say that in Pakistan especially, Mr. Dood Kamal, he has written few epics and elegies which is related to Karbala. He is the only poet, as I think so, from Pakistan who worked in this particular field.
Right.
Otherwise, you will find the same translation work. Now, you can find that there are too much Noha writers. Noha writers mean
right.
Noha writers in English. You can find in Iraq, Iran, or in UK, who are writing, and other people are reciting those Noahs, and those are especially coming in albums. So you can find that, like Hashim sisters, like Abu Ali Kumali. So there are many people who are reciting these Noahs in English language, and those are available in different series are available in. And Fatma Ladakh, she is also very good English Noah reciter.
Right.
So the people are working day by day as the philosophy is spreading. So as I earlier told that it is full of symbolism and full of philosophies, you can find a lot of things, like how that every event, like we have traditions of Alam, Tazia, Zuljana, lamenting, mourning, all these are symbolism. How these are symbolisms, you can define that it is not just related about emotions or just related about event, it is just a philosophy. Everything is taking symbol of anything. Now you see that Alam is the symbol of Hazrat Ghazi Abbas, because he was a flag bearer of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And secondly, you can see that Tazia. What is Tazia? Tazia is the symbol of funeral. That the funeral of Imam Hussain. And the third one, we have said mourning. How mourning became our part? Noah is the part of mourning. So how that became the part of that is symbol, that is the symbol of Bibi Zainab Salamullah Alaiha, which she addressed in the streets of Syria or in the streets of Iraq. So these are just symbols, and it is different symbols are having different meanings, and it is complete philosophy, full philosophy. Each and every event of the Karbala is having different philosophy. Or we can take the philosophy of onehood or philosophy of equality in Karbala. How we see that you can find the person of every age and the person of every status in the event of Karbala. Like you see that there is brother, there is sister, there is nephew, there are nieces, everyone. Even you can find slaves.
Exactly.
So you can see that the status of the people of every status is in the event of Karbala.
Yes.
So you can't say that there is just one about, we are commemorating about just Imam. We are commemorating about all Shodas. Okay? And how the philosophy of Karbala makes us onehood, that it gives the lessons of unity, gives the lessons of onehood, that we all, humanity, are equal. So
Right.
all sacrifice their blood for the sake of one philosophy, for the sake of one reason, and for the sake of Imam, whatever they have ordered.
So have you personally written anything about this philosophy?
Yeah, I have written, now at the moment I am having 2 poems, but I have a lot of, so if you will
Of
wish
course, we'd
Okay.
love to.
So first one, my poem is Lament of Land. You can say that it is epic or elegy from the land of Karbala.
Right.
I need no more blood. I need no more blood. I need no more dead bodies. Only holy blood of Al-Bad is sacred for me. My land is enriched. My face died with it, and those generous made me alive forever. I need no more burning aves. I need no more recognition. Only that night is enough for me. When tents were burned in this moor, all around were injured bodies. All sacrificed their lives, but made me alive forever. I need no more blood. I need no more humility of humanity. I need no more Yazid.
Beautiful. No more humility of humanity.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Iftikhar Arif's verse, that is, Hussain, tum nahi rahe, tumhara ghar nahi raha, magar iske baad zalimun ka dar nahi raha.
Yeah,
So this
of
is
course.
on same similar theme.
Exactly. So So, any extract that you would like to read out, or a poem that you might want to share?
Oh, yes, I have a poem by Agha Shahid Ali, and it is called Zainab's Lament in Damascus.
Right.
Over Hussein's mansion, what night has fallen? Look at me, O people of Sham. Over my brother's bleeding mansion, dawn rose, at such forever cost. So weep now, you who of passion never made a holocaust, for I saw his children slain in the desert, crying for water. Hear me, remember Hussein, what he gave in Karbala, he the severed heart, the very heart of Muhammad, left there bleeding unburied. Deaf Damascus, here in your caliph's dungeons, where they mock the blood of your prophet, I am an orphan, Hussein's sister, a tyrant's prisoner. Father of clay, this refers to Hazrat Ali. He cried, forgive me, Syria triumphs, orphans all your children, farewell. And then he wore his shroud of words and left us alone forever. Paradise, hear me. On my brother's body, what night has fallen? Let the rooms of heaven be deafened. Angels with my unheard cry in the caliph's palace. Syria, hear me. Over Hussein's mansion, what night has fallen? I alone am left to tell my brother's story. On my brother's body that dawn has risen. Weep for my brother, world, weep for my brother.
That was indeed beautiful and touching, because this is a sort of tragedy which can even make the most stone-hearted people. It can make their eyes well up. It can soften their hearts, because this sort of a tragedy is such that many people who weren't even Muslims, be it Christians, be it Hindus, even they have commented on this particular event, and it's and the amazing fact remains that after the 1300, 1400 years, the fact is the incident is as fresh in the minds of everybody as if it was yesterday. And may we all have the patience, and may we all carry out all who are relevant to the field of literature, relevant to the field of poetry. May we all carry on with the work that we've been doing, and any message for all the people who write, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, you should continue to write. It is, you can say that something related with your emotions, about your feelings, that how much feelings how much of your feeling are affiliated with this particular event or with this particular philosophy. So first, if you are affiliated, then there is no stoppage in your way that you can't write. Then if you are a writer, and if you are a poet, or if you are whatever, a translator, then your heart will convey you to write or to translate about this particular philosophy. So it is you can't say that it is stoppage or anything. You have to decide yourself. It is something you have to decide about, something decided by the divine's power.
And Mr. Shiraz, what future do we see of this particular genre, writing about this particular incident, both in poetry and prose? What future do you see?
Well, with this emergence of world Englishes, because now in people who are working in post-colonial theory and who are now avoiding abrogating English, and rather they are appropriating English, and so they believe that now there are many Englishes in the world. This fact and this theory has actually encouraged many people, like our brother Hamza, who are from Pakistan, who are from the subcontinent or other, non-native English speaking background, they are being encouraged to write. And these are the people who, if we talk of authenticity, these are the people who are the true representatives of the culture. So I believe that in future we will see many new young writers who are doing their masters in English, who are studying English literatures of the world, being produced in different parts of the world. So they should be, in future they should come up with this genre, that is Maktal literature or Ashura literature, or literature related to